Another What I Ate in a Day. Stick around. Hi, Debbie Chu here from Chew on Vegan. And if you're new here, I'm a plant-based RN and I follow a whole food plant-based no oil way of eating. On my channel, you're going to find quick and easy whole food plant-based recipes. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and please check out all the resources below for all the things I offer. Everything from an online course, e-guide, newsletter, and a Facebook group. So continuing on my theme of whole food, unprocessed, clean eating. So I got inspired by Joey from Plant-Based Dads, and he's done a couple videos on meals that are 400 calories, and that got me thinking. I think it's a very important concept for you to know basic calories that are in your foods. Now, on this way of eating, I don't really count calories, but in the beginning, I did get some general knowledge as to how many calories are in certain foods. I use the low calorie density guide, and I will leave a link to that below, but I'll put up one here, or maybe it's here, so you can look at it. And it just shows you the amount of calories in foods by the pound. And I always try to keep my meals around 500-600 calories. So I thought I'd do a little challenge with myself today. I'm going to show you my breakfast, lunch, and dinner today, and they're all going to be around 500 calories. And I'm not telling you to do this at every meal. I'm not telling you to, get obsessed over this, over calories, because that's the last thing I want you to do. But I do want you to know, get educated with how many calories are in certain foods. That way, when you're building your plate, you're going to go for the lowest calorie items, and that's going to help you lose weight or maintain your weight. And this has nothing to do with macros, protein, fat. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just going to show you 500 calorie meals or around thereof. And these are really simple, quick and easy recipes that you can make no problem. So let's get started. So I have 4 cups of water in here, and I'm bringing it to a boil. I've got a little bit of salt, just a couple little pinches, and then I'm going to add in 1 cup of riced cauliflower. This is frozen, and then a cup of shredded zucchini, and we're just going to let this come up to a boil. Now this is making 4 servings, so we'll just let this come to a boil, and then I will add in the oatmeal. All right, we got a nice boil going, so let's add in our 2 cups of oatmeal, and we're going to turn it down a bit. We just want it to simmer until the oatmeal is cooked. And trust me, you are not going to taste the zucchini or the cauliflower. And we're just adding in more fiber, more bulk, more nutrients. So this will go 10-15 minutes. You just want to stir it every once in a while. And then I'll show you how we finish it up. Now this is looking pretty good to me. If you want it drier, then let it cook a little bit longer. But I like it just like this. So I'm going to turn the heat off. And I'm going to add in a cup of blueberries. And now I'm going to show you how I finish it up. So I've taken out a serving for me for today. The rest I'm going to put in this glass dish. And this will be for the next 3 days or so. Then I'm going to do a half a teaspoon of flaxseed per serving. And this is actually ground flaxseed, even though it says whole. I ground it up and put it back in the bag. So I'm just going to add that. So half a teaspoon, or excuse me, half a tablespoon to this one. And then we'll do 1.5. To make up our 2. And this is going to add in some protein and some omegas, really good for you. Now we want a half a teaspoon of cinnamon for each serving. So a half will go on my one for today. And then we'll sprinkle the rest here. Cinnamon's really good for regulating your blood sugar. And this is Ceylon cinnamon. It's my favorite. It's so delicious. Then a half a banana per serving. So I'll put half on my today's serving and then the other, slice it up and put it on this. Now you're more than welcome to add your blueberries and your bananas each day, but I just like to get it all done. And if you wanted to add different fruit, then that's fine, you can do that, but I love bananas for potassium. And they're very satisfying, they're starchy, and they add the sweetness. I don't add any maple syrup. And then what I do is the night before I go to work, I just will take a serving out, put it in a little container and put it in my lunch bag. So I'm ready to go. And this is just the way I food prep. Now this oatmeal comes in, this serving comes in at about 310 calories, give or take. These are just estimates, so don't quote me on it. And then that's not really enough for me. I'd like my meals to be about 500 calories. So I added a potato, which is going to add another maybe 110 calories. And I just sprinkle on some garlic salt. And then I'll sprinkle on some of this Mexican Fiesta seasoning. I love this. So you have, your veggies in there, which is great. It's a great way to get your veggies in at breakfast. You've got some fruit, and then you've got some more starch here with your potato. And eating this will fill me up and keep me satisfied for lunch. I mean, you could add the potato, or if you wanted to, you could make your serving of oatmeal a little larger to kick up the calories. But this combo really works for me. But as I always say, these recipes are not engraved in stone. I'm just showing you what I do. Please customize it so it fits your life and your taste and what you like. So for my next 500 calories or less meal is going to be a stir fry. Stir fries are one of the best things that you can do. Just chock full of veggies, fiber. It's going to fill you up. And I am using this combo today. I've got some onion, yellow pepper. I've got 2 big leaves of Napa cabbage. And then I'm also using this ready veggies from Trader Joe's that's got broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kale, carrots, and snow peas. And then a little garlic here. And then we'll throw in some coconut aminos just to give it a little bit more flavor, and maybe a little ginger, just some ground ginger. And then of course we're going to serve it over rice. So let's get this going. And this is going to be, I'm making more than one serving obviously, but I'm going to show you how I do it. So you want to start by preheating your pan or your wok, whatever you're going to be using, on medium heat. And I like to throw in my onions first, just to get those going a little bit. I'm not adding any water in the pan yet. After they've been going a couple minutes, I just added a little bit of water. I'm going to add in my garlic. We're going to do like a teaspoon, and we'll just let that go for a minute or so. I usually put more onion in than this, but I didn't have that much onion and I need it for my next recipe as well. So we're making do. Let's add in everything else. Yellow peppers, the Napa cabbage, and our veggie combo. And you can use whatever kind of combo of veggies you like. If you don't want to get the prepackaged stuff, you can definitely just do all this separately. But I'm just needed convenience these days. I'm very busy at work and at home, so there we go. I'm just going to add a couple tablespoons of water, put the lid on, and let these go for a few minutes. Now let's add a little seasoning. I've got some ground ginger, probably about half a teaspoon. And then of course my garlic salt. If you're salt free, just use garlic powder. And I'm using quite a bit. And then I'm going to add in 1/4 cup of coconut aminos. And then I'm just going to cover them and let them cook for a little bit till the veggies get a little bit soft. I don't want them, you know, over soft, wilty. And this is going to be probably 2 servings. Okay, here we go. We got tons of veggies. We've got our starch. This is a beautiful 50-50 plate. And this one comes in at about 400 calories. That's a ton of food. So learn basic calories in foods, and then you know where you're at. You know how to build your plate to get the most bang for your buck. I did put 1 tablespoon of my sweet chili sauce over the rice and a little bit on the veggies. These are the veggies I'm going to be chopping up for my lentil soup. I've got an onion, celery, carrots, a zucchini, and a potato. I'm going to get these chopped up, and then I'll meet you over here at the stove and we'll get it all going. So I've got about 4 tablespoons of water in my pot here, medium heat. I'm adding the celery, zucchini, carrots, and onion into the pot. And we're going to let this go for 5 minutes. Next, we're going to add our spices, which is cumin and Italian seasoning, some garlic, and a couple tablespoons of tomato paste. Get this all stirred in and let this go for a couple minutes. All right, now we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. I got potatoes. I have a can of fire roasted tomatoes. I'm going to have a total of 1.5 cups of lentils. This is a mixture of some, I think they're called French, and then just regular lentils. And then I want red lentils. And then we've got 6 cups of veggie broth. So we're going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to turn it down to a simmer. Let that go for 30 minutes with the pot partially covered with the lid. Will you look at this bowl of goodness? This comes in close to 500 calories. Of course, I added a couple cups of chopped kale, or you could do spinach, just to get my greens in there. And it is, I don't know if you can see it, it's piping hot. Everything looks delicious. It's so hearty. All right, let's give it a taste. It's really hot. So delicious. Can't even tell you. This is going to be great all week. The lentils cooked perfectly. I think I said earlier to cook it for 30 minutes, but it was more like 50 minutes. So just cook it 45 minutes to an hour until those lentils get to the consistency that you like. I don't like them super mushy, so that was a good time for me. So I hope you learned from this video that you can eat a lot of food for 500 calories. Now, of course, 1,500 calories is not enough for me to eat in a day. I'm closer to 18 or 2,000. So you do what's best for you. But I just wanted you to see how much food you could really eat for those amount of calories. Of course, you're going to have snacks in there, maybe some hummus and crackers and fruit, things like that. You might even want to have a little ice cream after dinner. If you have your meals 500 calories-ish, then you have wiggle room for your snacks and a dessert if you'd like. But it's flexible, and it just depends on your level of activity. I'm pretty active, so I can do 1,800 to 2,000 calories a day. That works for me. So you just figure out what works for you, but I think this is a good starting point, especially if you're a beginner. It's very confusing. Print out that calorie density guide that I have down below, linked down below. Keep it on your fridge, and it's just a reminder of where you should be eating. I try to eat under 600 calories per pound for my food, so I hope that works for you. And be sure to check out Plant-Based Dad's, their videos that they're doing with the 400 calorie meals. They've got some really great recipes there. I'll leave a link to his channel down below. And if you've made it this far in the video, please comment below with low calorie, and that way I know you made it to the end with me, and I really appreciate it. Remember, all my recipes are good for you, they're good for the animals, and they're good for the planet, and what you put on your plate determines your fate and your weight. Until next time, thank you. On my channel, you're going to find lots of quick and easy whole food plant-based recipes. On my channel, you're going to find